All right, we're taking on another rematch here. This one's against Rayan. We're gonna go with the same team because I don't know, man. I just want to give you guys. Also, I don't have a better team for this. I don't think so. I don't think I have a team that would not only tank the AOE but also kill Felix in one combat. They're like, I want to say 1, 2, maybe 3 units that can one round Felix. Winter Edelgard. If you build your Brave Erica right, you can do it. Heathernir. What am I? Jimbro. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of like 1v1 against Felix. From melee range, from 2 range, you can find a lot of options in terms of taking him out, but from melee range, Winter Edelgard, consistently with Winter Edelgard, and Brave Erica if you build her right, and Jimbro because he just does 1 billion damage. So Felix is really tanky. Yeah, not a good idea to try to tank him one-on-one with Ike in particular. Just doesn't do enough damage to take him out. Does double, which I think if Ike was able to hit twice, he probably would be able to take out Felix, but not in one combat. And then the problem is if Felix survives, he's going to go around, and everyone's doing it now, as you can see with the Celica ring. It's going to go around and murder someone else. So the unfortunate part about this particular matchup is that I have to tank the AoE from Igrin. I don't see a way that I can avoid it with this team that I have here because of the movement restrictions that I have. I won't be able to set up properly, unfortunately. So yeah, hopefully the Breath of Life support will be enough, but Rearm Grima is going to be out of her 25% HP condition for her weapon when Felix initiates, so she might get outsped, which means she'll probably die. So that's probably what's going to happen here. But I'm just going to try to play around it and see if I can get things to work in my favor. Ascended Fury will be fine because she has Ice Mirror. The damage reduction that she gets from that is just ridiculous. On top of that, with the Ike Ring, we definitely need a melee version of the Ike Ring, which I was saying that it's probably going to be from like Roy or something, because what else would you do with Roy? Roy is like so bad, man. So yeah, let's try to put this together and see how it works out.
Lady Niffle.
I don't think this lineup currently is the best. I was thinking of going in from 2 range with, again, ranged units, but it would have just been way too much work, man. Could have also done this with Winter Edelgard, but again, way too much work. Because, I mean, I could break the ice thing where Celica is and then go up with Winter Edelgard, get going, 1, 2, 3. There's one more duo. Take out Byleth. I'm pretty sure. I would need Edelgard to take out Byleth. Probably would be best to initiate from where Igrin is. And then go from there. Winter Edelgard. Yeah, it would have been doable, but too many brain cells. Too many brain cells. If we're gonna lose, let's lose quickly. That aside, let's go into the whole discussion about the changes. I don't have the arena changes, to be specific. I don't think I have a ton to say about it. I think I've already written what my thoughts are on the matter on a YouTube post thing. I've been having some conversations there. I've also just been seeing what everybody else's opinion is on the matter. Personally for me, it's not that big of a deal. Not because I didn't start the game, I'm not a day oneer, or because I don't have a ton of invested older legendaries, both of which are true. I don't have Brave Roy keeps coming to mind, but I don't want to use him as an example because I feel like that's an unfair.
What now?
It's like hitting below the belts. Everyone knows that he's bad. But yeah, I don't have a lot of units from that generation that are like built up and like good. But I mean,
Protect you.
my main argument or like my main thought process, like just looking at it, I feel like everyone, like, or the majority of the fan base is a little bit like too upset.
It's a promise.
Not that they shouldn't be. I mean,
Where
like
is my
objectively looking at it, it is a bad change in terms of like, from like even the financial standpoint. Like, you're not gonna make money, or the amount of money that you could potentially make has been reduced just by making that information public. I was thinking like just like it would have been great if they just shadow banned the units, which they already have been doing. Not necessarily shadow banning them, but they just weren't in the rotation. Like, when was the last time Roy was up as a bonus unit? Let alone
Just as I planned.
what's his name from Hoshido? God, I can't even remember his name. He's so bad. Oh my god. Not Corrin. Jeez. Veronica. You had a legendary Xander. Yeah, when was the last time Xander was even like... No. Ryoma. Even Xander as well. Like, Xander hasn't been bonus for a long time, and he's one of the more recent. Oh, there we go. We're dead. We're not gonna heal enough from Breath of Life here, unfortunately. And not even that, plus the fact that he's gonna do a ton of damage. We're not gonna make it over 25% for the next combat, and also since he's outspeeding us, we won't have our special up for the next fights. So that sucks. We're dead here.
Impossible.
That is unfortunate. We won the speed check in the second fight though. That's pretty good. But yeah, Felix doing Felix things here. The Gale Force build, I'm not the biggest fan of because I feel like he does far better with Gust. But if you want that extra action, I mean, you know, there you go. You can have it. I was trying to see if there was a way that I could have avoided the AoE there, but I think it would have required me to put like Peony or someone further down, but I don't see how I would have been able to set it up. But we'll continue talking in the next match. Okay, so here's the last rematch that I have available as of right now. Yeah, we lost at least 3 times already on defense, but it's all fine. This week was really just a test week to see how the ice terrain or how people interact with the ice terrain and my defense. So it's going about as good as I would have expected it to. That aside, where was I? Yeah, it's not that the change to the arena rotation. I see a lot of people saying that they can't use their units anymore, which is not the case actually, unless I read it wrong. But the units are available to be used. They're just no longer going to be available to be bonus, which means that they won't be the ones on the front of the team listing. So they won't get the bonus stats, the plus 10 and 4 to all stats. I mean, Ryoma with plus 10 HP and plus 4 to all stats still does nothing against most of the units that are currently running around in arena. He will still die, even with all those extra stats. So big whoop. There's no point in being upset about that. At least that's how I look at it. But I don't have the same sentimental attachment to some of these units as some of the other people in the fan base do. I think a lot of this could have been resolved if these units were like given better refines to begin with, but the refine is only as the refine that the unit receives is only ever going to be as good as what the meta currently is in the game, as well as what the current skills are available in this game. So no surprise that the old units have worse refines in comparison to the new units, because the skills were just not available. yeah, IS just didn't put out the stuff that they needed. Like, let's if Legendary Yoma was getting a refine now, he would be getting a far better refine. He'd probably be comparable to Summer Shez, or even the new red flyer that we got recently as a GHB Grail option. He would probably be somewhere around that vein. He'd have flat DR, he'd probably get soaring guidance. He'd be just a lot better, but he is just a victim of the time that he got his refine, and he's not the only one. A lot of units that are in the regular pool or in the seasonal pool that came out around that time also suffer from that same situation. Consequence isn't the word, but yeah, it's just what happened because of when they came out. So I feel like a lot of people are overreacting, and also the surprise that I'm seeing, like, it was clear from a long time ago, I feel like, that IS didn't really care about whether or not you merged your units. I think, yes, they do make a lot of money from pulling multiple, or from us pulling multiple copies of a unit, but just by looking at their strategy in terms of like unit release styles and everything, I think they do a lot better or at least I think they're trying to focus or gauge, train us. What's the word here? I think they're trying to get us to pull more for newer units, and they've always been doing that. It's not something new, it's not a big surprise. So it was just strange to see everyone saying that IS wants us to pull for new units. Yeah, it's been that way since the beginning of the game. Even with the latest or the previous legendary change that they implemented, making the legendary unit score highest regardless, or score the most, or score maximum score regardless of whether or not you have that unit merged. Just by having that legendary unit, he scores, or that legendary unit will score the maximum amount once they're bonus. Just by doing that, it kind of eliminated the need for us to be merging our legendaries. We've just been doing that because we wanted to. Or that people have been doing that just because they wanted to. It didn't really...
We mustn't get lost.
And also, I guess it worked for like off-season stuff when they weren't legendary anymore, when they weren't bonus anymore. And if you wanted to use them in other game modes, then great, stats do matter. I'll always advocate for bonus stats mattering. They do matter. But for Arena, you only needed the one copy. It's been that way for, what, a year now at least? So, yeah. Another thing that wasn't a big surprise to me, that they, wanted to go this route in terms of, like, removing a lot of the older legendaries from the bonus rotation. I was probably most surprised by the fact that they put out a number. Well, not necessarily surprised. I'm concerned with how they will deal with the 10 units moving forward. The 10 units that are going to be in the bonus rotation moving forward. Because,
leave it to me.
is it always going to be 10, or are they going to increase the number? That is to be seen. They didn't really speak on that. I think they would more than likely increase the number, because they're
I wish you luck.
Reducing it or like keeping it at 10 doesn't seem like the best decision to make. But that's a whole different topic. But yeah, GG's.